Good morning. I'm Rebecca Snyder, Executive Director of the Maryland-Delaware DC Press Association, and today we are talking about secrets of the MDDC contest. We'll step through how you can enter the contest, who is eligible, why you'd want to enter, and all that good stuff. So let's get started. So as I said, we're going to go through who is eligible, what are the categories, when is the deadline, where can I enter, and why enter. But let's start from the end and go forward. So why enter? Let's talk through some different ways that you can leverage those contest entries. Many of our member publications really want to recognize their staff. Showing staff how they are valued and the important work that they do is so critically important. Many categories are extremely competitive, and staffers get excited about their wins. It also allows you to showcase that award-winning work. Sometimes publications will put on their masthead or on their homepage that they're an award-winning publication. We offer badges and showcase through social media the winners of different categories. And so that it's a great opportunity to get the word out about what you're doing within your community. You also have an opportunity to showcase your advertisers. Some publications will use will create their own certificates for award-winning advertising and design work and pass those on to the advertisers to really underscore how what the strong design skill and credibility is of their organization. And it also allows you to really see the best practices, what the most important or best work of various MDDC members are, and gives you great ideas for your own publication. So let's talk about who is eligible. So all MDDC is an organizational member group. So basically, if you are a member or if you are employed by or work for an MDDC member publication, you can enter the contest for work that appeared in that publication. If you're a freelancer, we also have a special category called Division S, S as in Sam, for SPJ members and freelancers. And that is an opportunity to enter work that did not appear in an MDDC organization publication. We have 7 circulation divisions so that contestants are competing against an appropriate other appropriate publications in that first round. So within each division, there is a first and second place winner that's selected, and then all the first place winners from every division go head to head in the best of show competition, and one entry is chosen as the best of show for each category. Now, just to catch everybody up, MDDC did change its dues structure for calendar year 2024, and that has, and we've changed it to reflect the total audience of our membership. So now dues and divisions are calculated along a matrix of print circulation, online circulation, online readership, and number of staff and freelancers. And so some members may have changed divisions. We will go through and make sure that your entries are in the appropriate division. But if you have questions or are not sure what division you're in, please just let us know and we will help sort it out for you. So when we're talking about eligibility, the work that you are entering must have been published in 2023. So for advertising design awards, you can enter ads that were designed by subcontractors or outside companies, but the idea must have come from your organization, from the publication itself. If you are publishing things that are series, that are that are multiform or published on a variety of days, there has to have been some at least one publication of the series within the calendar year. All right. So the other thing that we want to talk about is the categories and some of the mechanics. So this last slide is the information. You can find us at mddcpress.com/contest. If you have questions, just shoot them over to admin@mddcpress.com. Our team locally, Sam and Kristen, one of them will get back to you. Ask for things like password resets. If you have any questions at all, reach out. And of course, you can always reach out to me at rsnyder@mddcpress.com. So with that, let's get into the contest portal itself. So this is just a straight link to mddcpress.com/contest. You can see that the deadline for entries is January 31st. It will always be January 31st, regardless of the day of the week. It just makes life a little simpler for all of us. All entries must be uploaded to the contest portal. We'll step through that in a moment. On this website, you have access to the full contest packet, which we'll show in just a minute. There is a link to the contest portal. And you can see all the particular nuances of the contest and the rules. One other important rule: your organization must be current with its 2023 dues and their 2024 dues before the contest can be judged. So if you have questions about that, again, just reach out. So I wanted to show our contest packet, which is right here. Bear with me. So this is the packet. Again, it's a link from the website. It has all the details and the entries. We will celebrate the awards on May 3rd at our annual conference. So do mark the calendar. That's a full day conference with training and panels in the morning and a celebration over lunch. And so you can have the steps to enter and so forth and the contest rules. But really where this PDF is so very helpful is to explain our categories. So there's 3 sections of categories: revenue and promotion, design, and editorial. So this, I find it helpful to have this as a planning tool. You can see every category that's listed. And let's first talk about revenue and promotion. So these categories are pretty broad ranging: revenue generators, news media, promotions, and so forth. Publications can highlight top sales reps. In our personnel category, we do have a category for salesperson of the year and rookie salesperson of the year, and that honors one person across all divisions. So revenue categories are always highlighted with this R. So you know it's a revenue category if it starts with an R. In design, there's categories for advertising as well as news-driven design. So the editorially focused design categories are all, they're going to be page 1 design, feature page design, and so forth, as they have been customarily. And then the advertising focus are really kind of listed as ads. But D is the marker for design focused publications, design focused entries. We also have a category for targeted publications. You can see here, again, there's going to be, you'll see a nuance from news driven and advertising driven. So, and you'll see that there's a difference between in-paper products and standalone. So if you have a targeted publication that ran only online, that would be considered a standalone product. If you're in a print circulation situation and you have a publication that is part of a section but could not be pulled, could not be taken out and distributed in a standalone way, that would be in paper. Standalone would be if you could actually pull it out of the publication and distribute it. That is a standalone. We also have categories for niche websites and custom pubs. Custom publications are focused on a publication that you have produced on behalf of someone else. So it's co-branded or solo branded, like for your Chamber of Commerce or for a particular government agency or something like that. Editorial categories are by far the most numerous of categories. There are about 50 of those categories. They're going to range from things like general social media reporting to features to investigative reporting. We do not, unless there is something specifically noted as online only, like online blog commentary, there is not a difference, or we don't recognize something that is only print or only online. So for instance, if we're looking at local government, this E9 category for local government, it truly does not matter if that article or series of articles was posted online only, had a print and online feature, or was only in print. We are about the content more than the format. Now, that being said, there are some categories. I'm looking here at multimedia storytelling. That is a specific category that is not necessarily cross-platform, but let's say cross-channel. So if you're an online-only publication, that multimedia storytelling could be incorporating audio, video, as well as the words on the page. And that the words could be in print or they could be online, but you're bringing in different channels, if that makes sense. We also, every year in the editorial category, we have a wild card category. This year, that category is free speech, First Amendment issues. And you can see there's a description for all of our categories, but the wild card is free speech / First Amendment. We also have, as we scroll down through all of these pieces, we also have a new category for diversity and DEI topics. So that's E54, I believe. So you'll see beat reporting, commentary, features, sports, photography is under editorial, and then video categories as well. So if you ever have questions or concerns, please reach out. If you're not sure where something fits or if it could fit in multiple categories, please do let me know. You can enter a story or a piece of content in more than one category. So just be aware of that. Sometimes you'll have, people will enter the same story in a couple different categories because they fit in a variety of ways. I want to also focus on our four, well, let's do personnel categories since we're here first. We do have some personnel categories. We talked about it really briefly when we were in the revenue discussion. And so for revenue, it's annual salesperson of the year, annual sales rookie of the year. That's going to honor someone who's been in the business for 18 months or less. We also have editorial rookie of the year. Again, 18 months or fewer in the field, and annual designer of the year. Now, you might think, well, gosh, this says annual all the time. The work presented to bolster the nomination for one of these personnel awards is work that was performed in 2023. So for editorial rookie of the year, we will look at that full 18-month period, but they have to have been, so it's the work of 2023, and they have to have been employed for 18 months or less within the field. Same thing with sales rookie of the year. But annual designer of the year, that is an annual award. The same designer could theoretically win that 2 years running because it would be for work in the contest year. Now, if you are nominating someone for a personnel award, please make sure that you are submitting a nomination letter that clearly outlines why you think this person should win the award. If you are, especially on our Rookie of the Year awards, the panel of judges, and it is a panel judged, all of our personnel categories are panel judged. Those evaluators are going to look for growth for some sort of reason that might not be readily apparent just with the work that is submitted. So there's requirements for each of those personnel awards, and please give your nominee the best shot by writing a nomination letter. Let's now talk about organization-wide awards. Oh, and one last thing on our personnel awards, there is one person wins that award across all divisions. And that's really the same for organization-wide awards as well. So we have 4 different organization-wide awards. The General Website Excellence Award. So that is, there's one top award. We do sort of winnow down by division and then award a top. The FOIA award, the James S. Keat FOIA award, is awarded to one organization. And that, again, could be winners have included publications that have gone deep into one topic and really showed the importance of public records in their reporting. Sometimes the honoree may have a wide breadth of showing how they've gone above and beyond with public records. So it's not, it's meant to really showcase how the organization has used public records in either very substantial ways or significant ways. It's not necessarily like, well, this is what we do every day. Courage in Journalism is an award that was created in the wake of the shootings at the Capitol Gazette, and it honors acts of courage in journalism and strength in adversity while uncovering truth. And that is awarded at the panel's discretion. There's not necessarily a winner for that every year, but please submit your situation. And then finally, Best Moves is something we've been doing over the past couple years. It's actually a really innovative and interesting look at what your best move was in a calendar year. And so previous nominees have included things like bringing back a particular special publication that's been very effective. Some have focused on diversity initiatives within their newsroom. Some have focused on, a publication redesign. So whatever your best move is to have bolstered and supported your organization and made it better, that's where that's the focus of Best Moves. We do interview many of our nominees for these personnel and organization-wide awards in our podcast, 5 Dubs, which is 5 spelled out -dubs, DUBS.com. And so we like to profile the work of our members. So throughout the sort of build up to the annual conference, you may hear from different nominees talking about either their best move or personnel nominees, just to get that backstory, and again, help you find the best practices in the area. And so that is the end of the contest packet. And now let's get back into the actual contest. I'm going to move to the contest portal. And so on the website, if you just click contest portal, it will take you to the Better BNC platform. And this is the platform we've used for a number of years. I totally understand that on my screen, and objects may be different. Hope you can see it. This enter contest here, that is a very light gray in reverse type. So thank you for your patience as maybe you hover over places that you're not quite sure about. So here again, this is just a recap of all the entry information and the rules and eligibility. The fee for contests this year is $15 per entry. We have held that for a number of years, and because we want to make things as affordable as possible. And so when you enter the contest, it will ask you for your media organization, the difference between authorized entrant and contestant manager. If you are new to the contest, you will start off as an authorized entrant. And when I believe it's 10 entries, when you've submitted 10 entries, your account will be raptured into a contest manager. So it gives you just a little bit more visibility and controls in the process, because you're then considered a kind of super user at that point. So you will need to know your password. It does carry over from year to year. So if you entered the contest last year, you will still be able to enter the contest this year with the same password. It doesn't reset. I've created a sample, a test account. And so let me log in here. Okay. Oh, invalid. Excuse me. Let me make sure that I've got this right. So I'm entering in as, oh, press news. I had two of the same ones. I apologize. Okay, so here, once you're in the contest portal, it's fairly straightforward, and I know those are always famous last words. In your account, you can change some aspects of, your email address and so forth. But really what we want to focus on here is where you're managing your entries. So let's put in an entry just so that you can see us walk through that. So you click submit entries, and in division, and this is where I find it very helpful to have the printout of that contest packet. If you know you don't ever use general, just to let you know, you choose whatever they call them divisions. We call them sort of groups of categories. But if you were choosing, let's say, an editorial category, anything that starts with an E is editorial, and then you go in and choose what category you want. So these do match up from what's on the contest packet to what's in the entry. So I'm just going to choose diversity, equity, and inclusion. It gives you a description of what's in that category. You put your headline in, and this is something that I think is critical to remember. What you put in as the headline or the title of the entry, and what you put in as the credits, carries over into all of our contest materials. So if you are misspelling a name at this point, it is almost 100% likely that that name will be misspelled in the awards, the presentation, the announcements, and so forth. So make sure that you're paying attention. We catch whatever we can, but I just wanted to be aware. So test entry is what I'm going to call this. Again, that run date needs to be within 2023. So you just choose the date at which the entry ran in your publication. You can choose a file and upload attachments. So essentially, for this, you could choose a PDF. That's perfectly reasonable. If you wanted to publish a large file, obviously, and let's be realistic here, the judges have to be able to browse and see. So if you are attaching an enormous PDF that's going to be a huge problem to download, you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot. So we do prefer that you're using your especially for large targeted publications and things like that, either make the file size as small as can be or create a link. So you can choose an attachment if you like. So we're just going to choose, I don't know, something different. So we'll just choose my expenses from 2021 since that's right there. And that file is there. Do us all a favor and make sure that that's a PDF, because it's that way you know it's going to go through appropriately. If you want to, and so you can also you can upload your links and things like that as well. Now, if you have, say this was, again, a standalone publication, the number of pages is immaterial. That's not something that's used in the judging. We usually don't double check that. So just choose one. You can choose 19, you can do whatever. It doesn't matter. You just need to, you can't have a null number in there. If you are submitting URLs or links, please make sure if your site is password protected at all, please make sure that you're putting a username and password in. One of the main problems that our judges have is that, so many publications are metered and they run out of views. Our judges are judging a variety of categories and entries. And so they will run out of free views very quickly. And there's nothing more frustrating than trying to figure out how to judge a category where you can't see all the entries. So again, you're trying to make it easier. So you're putting the password and email login for website. And then if there are any other additional comments that you want to put in, that's fine. First name, you need to have at least one. I'll take credit for this. You have to have at least one credit for the entry. You can name up to 5 people. If it is staff, you can put staff. And, so if it's MDDC staff, you can just put it in that way. And that's fine. You need to verify that you're not a robot, and then you're going to submit the entry. Oh, and I apologize. Look, so you can only upload PDF, docs, image files. So let me quick fix that for us. Feels like it just doesn't want to, it doesn't want me to know that that's the case. So we will X out of that. Let's choose another, let's choose another, apologies for the delay on that. We will choose, I know I've got a lot of files here. So let's just choose our contests and the our contest comparison. And so now we'll submit that entry. And so you will get an official entry form for each entry that you put in. There's no need to print those. There's no need to work through that. If you want to submit another entry, you will click submit another entry. Don't hit the back button. That won't take you anywhere that's appropriate. And once you have your critical mass of entries, you can do this over the period of time. There's no need to wait until January 31st, but you can manage your entries and you can see all of the entries that you have put in. You can also choose, like, if for some reason you put something in twice or you've decided to no longer enter that piece, you can just delete it. You can disable it and so forth. You can also calculate your entry fee, so you know how much you're spending. And so it's and so that is going to be you'll figure out the what the cost is. Now, you can pay by credit card. It uses the PayPal platform, so you can pay upon submission. If you need to write a check, you're totally welcome to write a check. Just note that you're paying by check. Put in, just a form number. It doesn't have to be the actual check number. And then you'll send all payments to our P.O. Box, which is P.O. Box 26214, Baltimore, Maryland, 21210. And that is some of that's the real piece of how you enter the platform. The platform can sometimes be a little difficult. So if you run into questions or problems, do let me know. And we look forward to reading all of your entries and awarding prizes for the best journalism in the region. And we'll see you on May 3rd in Annapolis for our conference and awards. Thanks so much.